Hi there. Welcome back to Reflections en Route, which also includes Streets and Eats and Roby Vales. I'm Corky.
I'm Jim.
And as you know, we're retired elementary teachers who are now living in Germany or once again living in Germany.
Right.
And we're all about looking for things to find to do for you and for our 3-year-old grandson and for us, of course.
Yeah, we just love getting out of the house, if nothing else. And we have found there's so much to do in this area. Castles, gardens, museums, of course. Today, it's all about the museums, or at least a museum.
That's right. Our 3-year-old loves a museum, mainly because the ones we've taken to him are the fun ones, like this,
Yeah.
the Dynamikum. It is a very hard word to say, but it is dynamic. That's the key.
Yeah, he does love museums. I don't know if it's because we've only taken him to these fun museums with lots of interaction and lots of exhibits and lots of activities. We have not brought him to just a traditional art museum yet.
We will, but we're not in a hurry.
He's got to be ready for it.
Yeah.
But he loves, like you said, all things technical, energy, power, electricity, mechanical, if it moves, if it's got gears, all that stuff. Of course, he loves construction equipment. I think that's kind of what drove his love of
power,
of like
technology,
all things technical. Yeah.
To begin with. But he's expanded his view, and he likes all kinds of things, and he loves to learn, as all little kids do. So don't be intimidated to take your toddler, to take your preschooler and your younger elementary kids. Take them to all these things. What they get, they get. If they don't get it all, who cares?
They're going to have fun.
That's right.
At least. So the Dynamikum, I don't have a hard time saying it. I don't know why you do.
Well, I do.
The Dynamikum is one of those science exploration type museums. In California and San Francisco, there's a really great one called the Exploratorium. There's a couple of them around Germany.
That we've been to and we plan to still go to.
The Technosium in Mannheim. Of course, the Dynamikum here in Pirmasens. But you'll find those spread around all over the place.
The Spire Technique Museum, the Mannheim Museum.
Berlin's got a great technique museum.
Yeah, they're all over the place. And we will probably hit them all at one time or another.
Yeah, we definitely will. Because I love that stuff too.
Yeah, we do. We're suckers for that. One of our goals, since we've moved back to Germany, we live in the Ramstein-Kaiserslautern area, and one of our goals is to find the things in the area for the Americans to do. Well, for anyone to do, but especially people living here with children, families that want to get out and do things. And this is the perfect example. Pirmasens, where the Dynamikum exists, is only about a half hour, 40 minutes from the Ramstein-Kaiserslautern area.
Sure.
And the city has plenty to do in it to make a day trip. Maybe not more than that, but it's a good day trip.
This is a really great day trip in this area. You can easily spend a couple hours at the museum, grab some lunch, get some ice cream or a piece of cake at one of the places downtown, and just have a good time.
Well, there's also a Wawa chocolate factory, which has a little museum in it, and we will do
We'll talk about that.
Video on that as well. And there's also a shoe museum, which may not be as boring as you might think.
We'll see. We haven't been yet, but we'll find out, and we'll let you know. So the Dynamikum has all kinds of exhibits on offer. There's 2 floors. When we were there may have been like 1 or 2 things that were down for maintenance. But for the most part, everything was up and running. The docents were there. They spoke English. All of the activities and exhibits had these like laminated placards that explained what the activity was in German and English.
Well, not only did it explain it, but it explained the science behind it.
Right.
And then it explained the activity. And all of that information was, as he said, in both languages, which made it super simple for us to go up to any activity, any experiment, and be able to understand what we were supposed to do. And then once we started playing it or doing it, then we could, if we were interested, look at the science of it as well. To be honest, I didn't read as much about the science as I did just how to run the activities, because you have so much fun. It's like a big indoor playground.
Right.
I mean, there's so much to do.
Right. One of the things that I really love is the like really long springs, and you just like get it going to make a sine wave or different waves. I love that thing. That's my favorite thing. But that's like the lowest tech thing they had there, I think.
Yeah, it was amazing the amount of technology they had incorporated within their activities. One of the things that was really fun, and we did over and over and over again because we were the only ones there, so we could spend as much time as we wanted, was a video of different animals racing you from one end of this room, maybe 20 meters.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. To the other end. And it was so much fun. And it was like, oh, you're faster than a shark. Oh, you're slower than a penguin, whatever it was. It was so much fun. And of course, it's all videotaped. It's just really, it was really fun.
Well, the whole back wall was the video screen.
Yeah.
So you lined up on the starting line and you raced this animal that was running along with you. It was really cool.
It was. But and there were tons of things like that. There were aerodynamics, and there was electricity, and there was hydraulics, and there were all kinds of movement and like sound and
optical illusions.
Just really cool
all of
stuff.
That cool stuff.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun. There was one thing I refused to do. I got in and then I changed my mind. Basically, it was a little wooden house, and this house was on a roll. And I think the idea was you were supposed to get in and feel like you were upside down. But after rolling, I mean, just the thought of it makes me a little nauseous even to this day. It's just not my thing. So
well, what you did was you walked in and sat down on chairs, and then the whole house spun around you. So you're inside this little like living room type thing, and you're just sitting there comfortably. And then all of a sudden it starts to spin around you. And yeah.
Ugh.
For me,
not for me.
Nauseating. Can't do it.
Some of the other things, one of the really fun things to do, and we were unsuccessful at it as well, was pretty much right at the beginning. It was kind of an air gun, an air hose, and you pointed the air to raise up these rubber balls to go through a hoop. I think we did it for a good 10 or 15 minutes. So unsuccessful, but so much fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Like, I wouldn't have left, except there were other kids coming and, there's this gray-haired lady usurping the toy, the good thing. So I had to give it up.
Yeah.
Darn.
That's the one thing about being an adult at those sort of places. You really do want to make space for the kids that want to have a chance to. Oh, well. But it wasn't crowded. It wasn't busy at all. There was a couple of small school groups that were going through as we went through. But these are kids, and they are like zooming around. So you just kind of hang out for a little bit at one of the activities, and before you know it, you got the place to yourself again.
So it was a lot of fun. I mean, I can't even remember everything we did. It was tons and tons of things. But I would say, as close as it is to the Ramstein-Kaiserslautern area, and the fact that there's more things to do in Pirmasens, don't give Pirmasens a pass because there's really a lot of fun things to do. On site, they do have a cafe, and they also have which I like this about German museums, they always have a place, usually in the basement, whatever the lowest floor is, that you can just bring your picnic lunch.
Yeah.
And we often bring a picnic lunch, but we also like to try the things on site too. This time, however, we ate downtown at the Kukum's Brauhaus, and we had excellent schnitzel
really
and some
schnitzel.
Beautiful warm drinks because it was chilly outside and everything.
And good beer too.
And I had good beer as well.
Yeah.
Which is not for the kids.
No, of course not.
But it was a really fun day out, and we did it sort of on a whim. We just sort of up and went, and we ended up having really, really a much better time, to be honest, than I was expecting. Yeah. I think if we were going to rate it, I think for adults it might be like a 4.
4. Because
even though you can get into it, and we saw plenty of adults there on their own without children, and they were getting into it. They were jumping on the jumpy things, and they were running, and they were, building the little blocky things. They were doing it all, and they were having a good time. They had the right attitude, but
it's a lot more fun with kids.
It is a lot more fun with kids. So I would say it's a 4 for adults, but for kids, I would say it's a strict 5, and that we could go back over and over again. It was really fun.
I would even say for adults with kids, it's a 5, because just seeing the joy and the excitement from the kids that are playing the activities, I mean, that's priceless. Very cool.
I agree. Anyway, go to the Dynamikum.